All right. With that said, let's settle down, settle down, settle down. Our guest speaker, gosh, man, I tell you what, let me tell you about this young man. He's a boss. Everybody say a boss. Come on, 1, 2, 3. He's a what? He's a boss. He's a boss. Let me tell you about him. He's a boss. Yeah, he's a family man. He's a father. He's always with his daughter on the trips and everything else. And he's was working in Hollywood as an actor. Was a bartender at one point, but now he's one of the ACN co-founders. I always talk about the go-to guy. He's a Circle Champions member. So can we give a warm welcome from Southern California today from one of the best trainers that ACN has offered that I think, and I love the guy dearly. Can we give a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, Mr. Dean Tarrolly?
What's up, Mr. Thomas? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good to see it. Good to see you guys. This is we have man, just shy of 70 people, so that's awesome. And I know Mr. Thomas, you're running. I know you got lots of stuff going on and you're traveling. And I was just kind of playing when we were talking about you being on the call, just because you know, I think everybody on this call gets so used to the good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And it's like, you know, it just sort of sets the call the right way. But I appreciate it. You guys know I always start with letting you know or reminding you of, you know, who actually runs this call. Mr. Thomas does not need to do this. There are teams represented from all kinds of different RVP and SVP organizations on this call. Not one time in what feels like 17 years I've been doing this call. No, I think it's 3 years. Every other month. We're in our third year, well into our third year, I think. Not one time has there been any kind of a conversation about whose team you're on, or, you know, and it's very all inclusive. Christine said going on 4 years. Well, it's crazy. So she would know. She's pretty good about that stuff. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Thomas, because when you don't have to do something anymore and you continue to do it, and you're coming out of a place of serving the people on your team and outside of your team, that's just a sign of leadership. And I think it's a great indicator of character. So Mr. T, I appreciate you. I appreciate you always inviting me to be back on. I have to tell you, after all these times together, over the course of now, what is it, almost 4 years, you know, you sort of wonder, man, have I covered? I mean, would you all agree that, you know, we've covered a lot of ground, yes or no? As you guys may recall, at the beginning of this month, I told you guys that was a challenge because we've covered so much. And I want to make sure that the messaging and the time that we have together is not, it's not dismissed because of familiarity, right? Like, I've heard this before and it kind of goes away. And we've all had those conversations with people in businesses. And it's important to me that there's a messaging that's going to move somebody's business into action. So it's really interesting. We had an event up in our office in Sherman Oaks this last week, and gentleman who's on this call, Josh Casey, who's on here. He didn't know I was going to bring his name up, but I am. Try to see if I can make him blush in his uniform, right? So he did something for us and for a team that he doesn't even realize, and I want to tell you guys about it. So for those of you who, and there's a bunch of you that are on this call that were at our event on Saturday morning. I know that Josh knows the information, and I know that he can present the business. But what he showed everyone, right? Thankfully, it wasn't me, because everybody is used to me. He brought an energy and an enthusiasm and fun to the explanation of our business that was absolutely awesome. And it completely changed the trajectory of the entire morning. And while this is not something I'm training on you guys on today, it is a really important training topic. It's a very important note that there's an energy involved with what it is that we do. And if your energy is anything other than enthusiasm and fun. And now that has to be it has to be authentic from you. But if it is not there, I am telling you guys, if you are not enthusiastic about what it is that you are doing, you are not giving anyone a reason to be enthusiastic about listening or being invited to be there. And right out of the gate, it does not matter what you say. It does not matter what you say. It does not matter how articulate you are. If your energy is missing, their attention is lacking. And that is just a fact. So when we had an opportunity to have Mr. Casey, regional director, be our guest speaker at that Saturday event, his energy did the trick. Did he know the information? Absolutely. So Josh, I'm personally thanking you in front of all these people, right? I'm just letting you know that I do not take those things for granted. And I notice these things and they do have an impact. And he was engaged and enthusiastic and had vision and had fun and had energy. And it was contagious. And a lot of you are trying to build, you have this idea and this vision of building this big business, but you're so damn cool about it. Your head's always in your notes or always in, and you're not engaged engaged with people. Find yourself getting engaged with people. And that's what he did. And it is a simple thing to do, but it is in fact a choice. Oh, Josh is just like that. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Josh, can you unmute yourself for a second? Or can someone help me out? Hey, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Hey, are you allowed to speak right now? I should have asked that.
Yes, yes,
okay,
I'm good. I'm good.
My bad. I'm like breaking protocol over there, right? Josh, do you every single day, do you always have tons of energy? Do you always, or do you go through the ups and downs like everybody?
I go through ups and downs like everybody else.
Okay, cool. So that means that what you did in front of the room, you may or may not have been feeling that. You may or may not have been having that kind of a day, because I don't know. You may or may not have been having that kind of day prior to getting in front of everybody. Is that true?
It is true. Coffee does help also, though.
No doubt about it. And everybody knows me, man. You guys see me. I've always got my cup with you guys. But here's my question. Would you say that the way you bring the message and the meaning is a choice?
Yes.
There you go. There you go. He chooses to be that way. So Josh, I wanted to thank you in front of everybody to let you know that stuff like that makes a big difference. It's a big deal because people will always remember how you made them feel way more than what you say to them. And there's a whole bunch of people that felt very, very fortunate that you were the person that went through the information because of the energy and the enthusiasm that you brought. And it was awesome. And there you go. They're the messages. I was there. Please come back. It was awesome. And it was. So I know I'm speaking for everyone, but I wanted to say that. So you guys, please take that note down. What energy and enthusiasm in your own way are you bringing to this? Because you're sending a message, a non-verbal specific message that if you are not enthusiastic and if it is not a big deal to you, this will not be a big deal to anybody you talk to. Josh, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. And dude, we're getting you back up there. I'm telling you right now. So just plan on it. Okay, you guys, look, let's dive in. Okay, let's dive in. You guys ready? Are you sure? Okay. First week this month, what I talked about was being the best version of yourself. It's so easy to compare yourself to other people, other positions, whatever, right? What are you doing to be the best version of yourself? And the three things I talked about was what's your process, what are your results, and what's your goal? And if you can't define those things, your process, looking at your results, are they leading you towards your goal? If you can't do that, I'm letting you know that your method of operation needs to be adjusted and defined. You're not going to go into a game with an undefined game plan. So the first week was be the best version of yourself, right? Try not to get yourself into comparisons to other people. They're going through different things than you are. You're going through different things than they are. Process, results, and goal. That was week 1. Week number 2, which I shared with you guys, wanting to make sure that I'm getting something across that's going to help, was going over this invitation process, right? The inviting the event and making sure that if they come to an event and it is not, the timing is not right for them, what is your plan B to get them as a customer? You guys, I can't even tell you the amount of customers, customer points, the amount of revenue that has walked out the door because someone passed on the opportunity, but we didn't talk to them about being a customer. And just one side note on being a customer, you guys, listen, let me be crystal clear and transparent. How can we talk to people about the services that we have if we've never signed them up ourselves? Like I'm telling you, it doesn't work, right? I have a guy, I think I mentioned this last week. I have a guy in my team who is a Christian Scientist. They don't go to the doctor. And I don't know enough about it to speak on it. So if anybody's a Christian Scientist on this show, please don't come back. Dude, that's not. All I know is that my general understanding is they don't really go to the doctor. They believe their faith and their healing, it takes place, outside of that traditional medicine or whatever. Okay. He's going to get impact health sharing. wait. He's going to get impact health sharing. Oh, you don't understand, Dean. I got it through my job. I have it through the military. I have it through this. I have it through that. None of those things are going to pay you to have that service. None of those things are going to help you build a business because you have it, right? So what I want you guys to think about this, I just want you to think about this. Here's a fundamental difference in my belief. Here's a fundamental difference in the belief of reps and leaders. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Yes or no? Okay, here's the difference. Reps, how much is this going to cost me? Leaders, how much is this going to make me? Okay. The national, oh, you don't understand the national. And then right after that is Tahoe. Man, that's a lot of, a lot of traveling and stuff. How much is this going to cost me? How much is this going to make me? Look, I told you guys, I was transparent at the beginning of this month. I said that I was going to talk about this because it's never happened before where the National and Tahoe are less than 3 weeks apart. So here's what some people are going to say. Well, dude, you don't understand something. They're so close to each other. Like they have to do one or the other. Absolutely not. No, they don't. You're putting that in their mind. You go to a national and you get the big picture with the Al Thomases of the company. And you get the big picture, the scope of what it is that we're doing. And then 2 weeks later, you're in Tahoe, sweats, jeans, t-shirts, getting the nuts and bolts locker room stuff that we can't train at the National. Give me a break. Some of you guys are going to be in a completely different position as it comes to the end of this year and beginning of next year because of those 3 weeks. Mark my words, you guys have it on record because I know he records these calls. I'm telling you that's a fact. Come back and tell me it's not. That's a fact. So we talked about in the first week being the best version of yourself. In the second week, we talked about the invitation process. So now we got to go a little deep. How am I doing on time? Okay. So we're going to go a little deep here. This week, what I want to talk to you guys about and give you a reminder is that we're in the people business. And you guys have heard that a million times. We're in services, we're in network marketing, we're in deregulation, we're in the people business. That's the business that we're in. And here's a very important question that you need to ask yourselves. I'm going to have you guys write this down. I mentioned to some of the people on my team, today was going to be a really important call if they got on. Today was going to be a really important call. Now, it's only really important if you guys are taking notes and you take the information with you. If you try to commit this to memory, it's great that you're on. You might catch a nugget. So we're in the people business, and here's a question. And here's the important question I want you guys to write down and ask yourself. Do people want to work with you? Do people want to work with you? Are you a leader with vision? Are you someone who talks about what you're going to do in a marketplace. Right? It starts with you and your beliefs. But here's where it's going to get deep fast. So let's say there's nothing going on in the marketplace that you live in, right? There's no ACN really happening. Well, first of all, that's not true because you're there. So what are you doing about it? You know, it reminds me of the conversation that Larry Raskin had years and years and years ago. He started to open up a new market, and you know, he told this group, he said, "Hey, listen, you know, I'm leading the expansion of this multi-billion, multifaceted company in this marketplace, and I'm leading the expansion." And one of the guys said, "Well, who made you the leader?" And his response, if you know Larry, he looked right there. He said, "I made me the leader." So being that leader, there requires a few things. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think I have the most important message to that leader, whether you live in a market that has a lot going on, or you're in an area that maybe you're pioneering. Okay. But I think I have the most important message. And the message is, what is the messaging you're giving yourself? That's the most important message. What are you giving yourself? Do you have a schedule issue for every dang thing? The first time something comes up is, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm so busy. I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that." Is that the message you're telling yourself? Or are you telling yourself the message, "You know what, I got a lot going on, but I'm gonna figure this out. Like, I'm gonna move this and move that, and I'm not missing." So here's some things that you guys can write down in terms of the messaging you're giving yourself. How about this? Here's some messaging. Number one, I'm capable. Now, I don't know how you're going to remember these. You know, I'd put these notes in your phone or whatever, but that's up to you. The number one message giving yourself, I'm capable. Right? Number two, I'm worthy. Like, you're worthy of this. Now, whether or not you do the work to achieve, but you as a person, you're worthy. So number one, you're capable. Number two, you're worthy. Number three, you're deserving. So when I'm saying just write down I'm capable, I'm worthy, I'm deserving. Number four, I'm a student. Some of you guys are, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, you're welcome, Sharon. I appreciate that. I'm telling you guys, some of you are too cool for school. You think you got this thing all effing figured out. Sorry, but it's how it is today, Al. I know some other stuff might come out. I don't know if you guys are going to have to edit it or you just want to keep it raw, but it's up to you. But I'm telling you, some of you guys think you got this whole thing all effing figured out. You got this thing down. Really? Really? One rep for the month? You got it figured out? I'll tell you what you got figured out. You got figured out how not to do ACN. There's a conversation. Be a student. I'm still a student to the leaders. Look, I tell you guys all the time about the conversation I had with Al Thomas at an event in Las Vegas. I pulled him aside as a top producing regional vice president. I said, "Al, I need your help." Al, you remember that conversation in the hallway? We were out there for like 45 minutes. Like, come on. I got, you know, the way that you guys talk about doing this or that. Really? You've been 118 points away from regional director for a year. Please don't talk to me about you not needing coaching. Please. Now, you guys, there's a caveat to all this. If you don't want this to work for you, disregard everything I'm saying. That's fine. There's someone right behind you who's going to be thirsty for this information the same way I was thirsty to learn from the leaders. Mike Basutti, Efren Tejada, Jeff Weber, the co-founders of the company. Told you the story about Al. So be a student. Well, right after that comes the next one. Be a teacher. I'm a teacher. So it should read like this. I'm capable, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I'm a student, I'm a teacher. Folks, be careful what you're teaching. You know, I had a conversation with our leaders yesterday, and no, I take that back. It was on Sunday. It's my ETL leadership call. And one of the things I said to people, to everyone on that call, I said, hey, look, you're an example or a warning. You are an example or a warning. Which one are you? Which one are you? So here's how it should read. I'm capable, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I'm a student, I'm a teacher. Here comes a big one. Let me know if you're ready. I'm a participant. I'm a participant. Are you participating in the things that you can? Are you participating with the leaders in your marketplace? Are you participating, or are you waiting for the leaders to make sure everything is done? Maybe that means participating, showing up early, staying late. Maybe that means helping set up chairs. Maybe that means contributing financially to whatever the meeting is going on. Hey, listen, I just want to help. You know, I'll give you two examples of that from our meeting in Southern California. This last week, we knew that we were going to finally have Saturday training. First time in a long time that we had that Saturday training at our office. And there's two of them. So the two people that I'm going to mention, don't freaking click off of this if you don't hear your name right away. So just settle in. So Red, the second we said that we were having a meeting, she's like, what can I bring? What can I do? How can I help? Well, Christine Blitz has been running that. I literally turned the office over to her in terms of like registration. I don't do any of it. I didn't ask Christine. I did not ask her to be that person. She just did it. Name tags, registration, sign-in sheets, name tag, all that stuff. Guess who used to have to set all that stuff up? Right. Oh, by the way, and get the coffee ready, and get the kitchen cleaned up, and do all that stuff, and try to have an environment where guests are going to be, you know, we're going to be happy to bring them. I could take this all the way back to leaders stepping up when I did the event in the first event in San Antonio. Between I'm not going to go into details, but between Ryan and Roxanne wanting to make sure that the event the event was first class. I'm talking about everything from a velvet rope to a walk-in area to, I mean, it was unbelievable. Hey, Rox, it was like, I'm telling you. Are you a participant? How about this? Are you a participant in your own business, or are you waiting for the leader to drive your business forward? Now, look, you guys, I've talked about this with you all before. I told you today was going to be serious. I talked to you guys about this before. There's two types of ACN IBOs. There's an IBO who participates, and there's an IBO who's a leader, and they're both great. They're both great. The only difference between an independent business owner in ACN and a leader in ACN, the only difference between the two of them is this: the leader has more control. The leader has more control. Why? Why does the leader have more control? Because they are capable of being able to do a presentation. They are capable of being able to get someone launched. They are capable of doing those things. If you are not that person, that's completely okay, but you have to work on the schedule of the leader. And that gives the leader a little more control. So you have to decide, what kind of control do you want in your ACN business? Well, first of all, you can have no control in your ACN business if you're not participating. All right, I know that we're on part number 6. We're on number 6. Let's see. Number 1, I'm capable. Number 2, I'm worthy. Number 3, I'm deserving. Number 4, I'm a student. Number 5, I'm a teacher. Number 6, I'm a participant. So we're going to stop right here for a second because we're getting blasted with chats. You guys, one of my favorite people on the planet. It is, in fact, her birthday, so we can just get this chat thing out of the way. And there's that big ass smile she has, which we love. Happy birthday, Roxanne Coralejo. We love you. We appreciate you. You're awesome. So excited, which I'm not going to tell you about. I'm not going to talk about your your mission that you're on right now, but I'm excited about the mission that you're on right now, and it is going to be insane. That's all I'm saying. I am well, listen, I'm not going to get all weepy and personal. I'm beyond excited for her, and I'm beyond happy that that you guys get a chance to get trained by her. She's a very special person. So there. The messaging you're giving yourself. Number 1, I'm capable. Number 2, I'm worthy. Number 3, I'm deserving. Number 4, I'm a student. Number 5, I'm a teacher. Number 6, I'm a participant. And you guys really you gotta really figure that out. To what degree are you participating in your own rescue in this? To what degree, like, are you really learning this thing? Do you really know the back office? Do you? You're the only one that can answer that. I can answer for some of the people on my team, right? You guys ever have a conversation with someone, whether it's an ACN or maybe it's something that you're really good at, and they bring you a question, and the very first thought in your mind is, how can you not know that? How can you not know that? How is that even possible that you don't know that? And you're on calls. How can you not know that? You ever, am I the only one, or have you guys ever had that conversation with someone and you're on the receiving end of that? The first thing a leader will do is they will take responsibility. And they say, listen, and I did this with a team out here. I said, listen, you guys, this is my fault. I thought that I had trained you. I thought that I had communicated to you, because nobody ever told me that they didn't know. And the fact that this is still a question coming up, I'm going to take responsibility, but listen how crystal clear I'm giving you the answer to what this is right now, so everybody knows it. So now if you don't know it, that simply means that that you're not paying attention, right? Don't take the idea that the leaders work for you too literally. You know, we are your employee because we do go to work for you, but that does not mean that we do all the stuff for you that you're capable of doing. That is not what it means. Everybody understand that point? By the way, if that's Jujo over there, tell him I said what's up. Okay, now, number 7, here goes. I'm a servant leader. Number 7, I'm a servant leader. Right? Serve the people on your team. Put those people in the best place, in the best possible position to win. They got to give me more time before I can just schedule a phone call. Really? Really? Like, come on. You guys, everybody's got lives and things and family and work and travel and stuff, but everybody can schedule out time to do a call for someone. Right? Now, if you're a new person, don't expect your upline to just drop what they're doing because they see your number or your text come through. Here's what I would do. Here's how you're respectful of everybody's time. If I'm working with Mr. Thomas, and I need to be an example because I'm a servant leader and I'm doing what I'm asking my team to do, I would text Mr. Thomas and say, hey, Mr. Thomas, hey, Al, it's Dean. I met a great person. Her name is Roxanne. She's open to a 3-way call. Could you give me a couple of times that work for you? Done. Now I've cleared my leader's schedule, and I'm going to get back to Roxanne, say, hey, Roxanne, great news. Mr. Thomas is going to be available in 1 hour. Please, if you see my number come up, he's only going to have a minute. Right? So what am I doing? Why am I using this as an example of servant leadership? Why? Because I am working for the new prospect to try to get them connected with the leader that I'm working with. put it in their hands. You guys understand this may come as a shock to you. Your leader wants you to have reps. Your leader wants you to have customers. Your leader wants you to have a phenomenally big producing business. Give us the best chance to do that for you. When you're a servant leader, you don't have a whole bunch of people working for you. You guys are all working together, and you have an example. You have every day is an opportunity to be an example for your team on not only what to do, but how to do it. Not only what to say, but how to say it. Number 8. This is a big one. In fact, put a star next to number 8. I'm resourceful. I really learned about this from one of my mentors, Senior Vice President Efren Tejada. I'm resourceful. I'm resourceful. Right? I don't have anybody joining my team. I burned through my list. Really? Be resourceful. You only have a world of social media and stores and coffee shops and sporting goods places and amusement parks and restaurants in every city and town and state we're in. Be resourceful. I've talked to everybody I know. 17 people? You're 52 years old and you've talked to 17 people? Come on, give me a break. You guys, when people say to me, well, Dean, you don't understand, I don't have a big circle. How many people have heard that? I don't have a big circle. I don't know a lot of people. You know plenty of people. You don't have to know them all by name, but you know plenty of people. The really nice gal that manages my Starbucks. She's the person you see every day getting your double upside down decaf caramel macchiato. You can certainly talk to her about a business. Doesn't mean she's going to do it. No, but you start doing that, you guys are going to get in the law of large numbers game. Be resourceful. And number 9, I'm a regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president. And what's crazy is a lot of you won't write that down. I'm a regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president, whatever one you want to choose. I would choose senior vice president. See, if you tell yourself that's who you are and you start operating that way, I have some crazy news for you. You guys realize you're going to get there. If you start operating as that position, you're going to get there. How do you start operating at that position? Find the people that are at that position and find out what they're doing, what they're saying, where they're going, who they're hanging out with. Figure it out. It's an open book. I heard from I remember a training online that I saw years ago. I can't remember if it was an audio or a video. I think it was an audio. Pat Mazer, and Pat and Mike, number 1 producers in the company, and Mike said, listen up. I want you to get this. Listen, we'll give you the information so long as you're willing to go get the information from wherever we have it. Now, boy, that changed after Zoom. Zoom is such a blessing, but it has created a bit of a convenience factor that I don't like. There's a convenience factor that I don't like in terms of like getting the information and getting the knowledge. Talking about things like Orlando and Tahoe. You want the information from the leaders, you need to be at those events. Like, that's no joke. And watch what happens for you. Watch what happens for your business. So all of these 9 points lead to this. Who are you being? Who are you being? Who are you being in this opportunity? Are you being someone that is attracting or repelling? Are you being someone who is inviting or dismissing? And every single one of us, myself included, we all have an opportunity to do that every single day. So I want to show you guys something as I wrap up. I was going to say, sorry, this went a little long today, but it didn't. I'm not apologizing for it because we had a chance to hang out with Rox on her birthday. So that's super cool. All right, you guys, go ahead and screenshot this if you want. I'm going to read it to you. It's not a video today. It's Bruce Lee, arguably the greatest martial artist of all time. Here's what he said. Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and they cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak about yourself. You can change your life. What you're not changing, you're also choosing. Dang. Don't speak negatively about I'm not a good presenter. I'm not good at customer acquisition. I'm not really good at promoting events. I'm not really, you know, I'm not really a rah-rah person. Don't do that. Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak about yourself and you can change your life. What you're not changing, you're also choosing. And I hope that you guys change the things that need to be changed to take you on the road to get you to the position that you've signed up in ACN to get to.